2, 3. To one of your So you will see some more of that live music, which I just showed you there, from Edinburgh Festival later in this video if you hang around until the end. One of the things that I've always enjoyed is live music, and I've seen some very interesting gigs here in China. I've seen things like Liam Gallagher, who was the lead singer of Oasis. I've seen huge Chinese superstars. I've seen very cool people selling musical instruments and doing amazing sessions to sell the musical instruments. I've seen unbelievably talented people sitting in the local park practicing their musical skills and delighting the passers-by by just playing away some outstanding music. And I've seen a handful of buskers in my 8 years here in China. And since I've came back from the trip to the UK and I visited the Edinburgh Festival when I was there, I now have a question about busking in China that I'm hoping some of the people from China who watch this channel, they might be able to help me with the answer of that question.
有心在为真实，何必让媒体无影遮住眼睛。
Super hot here, but when I was back home in Glasgow, there was a guy who would sit on a wall next to a busy road as you entered a place called Drumchapel, which is my hometown where I grew up as a kid. Anyway, this guy would sit on the wall, we would just play his guitar, not busking or anything, not looking for money. He was just sitting there focusing on his guitar and just playing away. I think maybe his wife sort of throws him out the house when he practices because maybe she wants to just give her ears a break. Anyway, when I was there, people had mentioned this and they had said this was kind of odd behaviour. Some people like me, I think it's pretty cool, to be honest. He gets comments from other people what he is doing is strange because the population in the UK is really not used to seeing people just sitting in public playing or learning a musical instrument like that. They get the idea of buskers. They understand being visible as a busker is being visible with purpose. They understand that playing your music and having your hat out for cash, for donations, they get that. So in the UK, they're not so sure about people practicing in the street, but they're very comfortable and enjoy buskers. And often, if the busker is good, they would generate a big large crowd. And I seen this when I was in Edinburgh for the festival, which is a concentrated version of the street busker because it's a festival and they are everywhere in all shapes and sizes and not just musical buskers. Edinburgh was buzzing when I was there and I loved the atmosphere generated by the musical buskers. There is water here playing in the background and there's also a guy singing. I'm in the park. You can guess where I'm going with this. Be back in a second. So the flip side of this buskers in the UK and being very few here in China, that's the kind of flip side. The other opposite is that it is unusual to see someone practicing their instrument in public in the UK, but here in China you could go to any park like you just saw, and while walking around you would stumble upon several people practicing their musical instruments, singing and dancing even, and they would be dotted around the park. And it's not busking, they're not looking for money, they are practicing, or they want to share, much to the enjoyment of the people that are in the park most of the time. I would say I've saw some unusual singers. Anyway, walk on, sweating here. So when I actually stopped to think about why I wasn't seeing buskers here in China, I probably just thought, actually I did think it would be because of regulations and permits, and simply because many Chinese cities have very strict regulations regarding street performers or buskers. I also thought it might have been because of the environmental challenges, like say the weather, and in some occasions I would say air pollution, which is very high in some of the traffic areas, which obviously makes it less appealing for Chinese people because they do value their health. I also thought about maybe urban development controls, because as cities expanded quickly, it's very difficult to find a street area or a corner that is suitable for that spot before someone moves you on. And obviously I figured that there may be some economic factors, because why would you stand in the street and earn a small amount if you're super talented and you want to seek more suitable venues which might pay you more? These are all factors, I'm sure they are factors, but what I was surprised to find out that it was more of a public perception, to be honest. The public perception in China is that street performers are sometimes associated with begging or a lower socio-economic status. So this stigma can discourage people from actually participating in busking. And I don't know if I'm on the right track here with this, and I'm hoping other people with other experiences here in China can help me understand more. Please, if you can, leave some comments in the boxes below, because I'm really interested in understanding more about this. I really do, honestly, I do like street buskers, and if I'm honest, it is one of the downsides of living here in Beijing. I would like to see more buskers on the street, but then if I'm really looking for live music, I could just walk around the local park and enjoy some beautiful music for free. Peace. This is Ian here in Beijing.